Hello YouTube, and I welcome all of you to this beautiful and not to mention scorching Friday morning for our penultimate entry into the Fallout Battle Royale, where today, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be doing our very first reaction to a Finnish industrial group called... How do you even go about... Turmion Kätilöt. Turmion Kätilöt. And the song is even harder to pronounce. Kyntövuohi. Kyntövuohi. I'm gonna go with Kyntövuohi. Now, there's two things you need to know about this. Well, certainly the only things I know as well is that this is quote unquote industrial metal, and as far as I can work out, industrial metal is not quite the same thing as like goth or the same thing as like punk. It's more sort of in fact, I don't even really know how to describe industrial. It's almost like, I want to say kind of like a blend of the two, but I think there's a little bit more style in it than, well, they certainly go far in like I would say a certain kind of direction anyway. And also the fact that this group has been going on since 2003. So maybe there's a lot of history, maybe there's a lot of things to discover about this. So let's see what Turmion have got in store for us. So if you guys want to check out the original video for yourselves, links will all be in the description down below. Let's begin. Kyntövuohi in 3, 2, 1, and... goat. Okay there, ladies and gentlemen, that was Kyntövuohi by Turmion and Kätilöt. You know what, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just gonna come out and straight up say it. I could not care less if I couldn't understand what these guys were going on about. I couldn't care less if they dressed like the warlord suddenly had a car crash with Gerard Way's wardrobe. I could not care less that they showed a guy hanging on stage, even though it was probably just an act. I couldn't care less if they had flamethrowers on stage. I couldn't care less if they had a friggin' useless Apple Mac to play keyboard, although maybe it would probably help to like synth up the tune of the keyboard or something like that. I couldn't care less that sometimes these guys were going in with complete pantless legs and they had like loincloths over their crotch. I couldn't care less that dudes were grabbing their crotches as hell just to show to the audience that, you know what, it's still there. I couldn't care less about why there were obligatory images of goats. I couldn't care less if these guys were wearing makeup. I couldn't care less if the song was maniacally nonsensical. I don't care. That, ladies and gentlemen, was awesome. They freaking crammed a lot into 3.5 minutes. I was ironic that I actually managed to pause near the end, because I straight up thought to myself that we've been here for like nearly 6 minutes. Maybe it's just I'm not complaining or anything. It's just the way it sounds is that it sounds like you could keep this note going on forever. But maybe it's because it's stuck in the back of my mind, and hearing it's not quite this. It's quite different from what I've done in the past. But I'm gonna tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, what is it that the Finnish cannot do? Like I mean. If you've been here for a while, you know that the Finns are really good at symphonic metal. They're also really good at storytelling in their music. They're also really good at friggin' like very heavy metal stuff as well. Black metal they're really good at. Doom as well, and it's strange as well because you would have thought like industrial metal would be something I would have done well before now, but I would have to like really think at the back of my mind as to what technically I can count as industrial that I've done before. Well, there's Kyntövuohi, but that's realistically about it. Now, but you know what? For what it was worth, I thought it was a really strong introduction, because these guys, the growling the growling was so sinister that I would have believed it if these guys were up to no good. So what was next I was going to mention is that what was it? And again, and like I said, the lyrics almost seem to like reflect this ideology as well. I mean, this is literally how it begins. Plow, plow, goat, goat, plow, plow, goat. In the mouth of death, if you whisper, can you hear me screaming? For this shit, I guess I am forced to bend. Let's learn. Through the pain and anger to watch, can you stand it if I choose a weapon too? Plow, plow, goat. Our blood vessels are starting to get that tight. They're talking about a guy like being sacrificed. This is like a ritual sort of thing. And this guy just I don't even know what I mean, how best can I put this? How many of you guys have ever seen the movie Race with the Devil? That had it was a horror film from the 70s that had Peter Fonda, I believe, and like almost like about 20 minutes into the film, you'd see this person get sacrificed by. I think it was actually a woman who got sacrificed by. I think it was like a scythe, like pierced at the top of her neck and like ripped in half. But under something like this, I could imagine like being laid down on a tree stump, and literally your veins, nerves, all getting stretched and literally pulled out of like your toes, fingers, thumbs, every which way of your body. So I'm only trying to like come up with some like very, very graphic sort of idea, because you know what? Our blood vessels are starting to get that tight. Not to mention them, not to open them with any variety of liquor. Quite a fucking rush in hypertension. Yeah, I feel as if like this would be one of those scenarios where I would describe tension in your nerves, tension in your veins, in your blood, and can you get tension in your blood or anything like that? Well, maybe that's to do with cholesterol or something like that. To prove human stupidity, yes, I will, and I not deny you. This is where this begins to be swallowed. Aura cuts our souls open. Come into your arms now, so we do not disappear like everyone else. See how our fears are sown. Take me in your arms so we don't disappear like everyone else. I'm just going to sort of like get around to pretty much near the end. Dear, see how our fears are sown, sow seeds, rubs with the jugular veins. We say needles, disappointing anesthesia, when we are sewn together. So it's sort of like, I came up with the idea of this being some sort of like ritualistic sacrifice. It literally now almost seems as if like, I don't know, like simply a guy just going into surgery. But for whatever reason, it's... I don't know what exactly the idea of maybe this guy was hallucinating. Maybe they gave him something stronger than anesthesia. But it's... I think that's gotta be really friggin' weird. Like... You're just going into a normal operation, and all of a sudden you feel as that you see what look like witch doctors about to perform voodoo on you, and about to literally conduct an operation on your soul with medieval instruments of torture. I don't know why, ladies and gentlemen, and I don't know why the hell I say some things like this, but you know what? With how everything was performed and how everything was said and done, I feel as if like... I feel as if like I'm about to like get a huge cross cut out in the middle of my forehead, and somebody with, like, say, pliers made out of wood and leaves are just about to pluck something out of here and then start literally peeling back my entire skin. Maybe a medieval autopsy would be a better word for this. Kind of would make sense if you didn't need it. You don't really need anesthesia for an autopsy because, well, the patient's kind of dead. It would make sense. Again, if you want like another example, there's like the beginning of Saw 4 where John Kramer's, you see his brain being ripped out of his skull, and the doctor cuts open his rib cage in half, and you've got to give props to the friggin' you got to give props to the props department of the Saw films, because some things don't look great, but when they are great, they really, really stand out. So anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed this reaction video. Please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section down below. Let me know what you thought of Kyntövuohi by Turmion and Kätilöt. Please also make sure to also like and subscribe to get daily notifications when my videos come out. And I hope to love you guys again in the next reaction video for our final part of the Fallout Battle Royale. Take care. Bye-bye for now.